我々はプラズマ老眼のアルツハイマー型認知症に関する臨床試験で改善することを世界で初めて証明しました。さらにこのプラズマ老眼は細胞新生を起こすことも発見いたしました。プラズマ老眼の驚くべき研究成果をご覧ください。
The second example is Lewy body dementia, which is characteristic of visual illusions and Parkinsonism. This is the most amazing improvement seen by the research team. First, please observe her facial expression and response before intake.
はじめまして。藤野と言います。ちょっとだけ少しいろんなことをお尋ねして。診察させていただいてもよろしいですか。
はい。2 weeks later.
こんにちは。
先生いらっしゃいます。
あら、覚えていらっしゃいました。
ご面倒おかけします。
うわ、嬉しいですね。お久しぶりです。どうもどうも。
She has shown a dramatic change. As to visual illusions she has seen before.
前ほら。幻が見えてたじゃないですか。
もう見えません。
もう見えません。はい。
は
あ。Her concern for the doctor could also be seen at the end of her medical examination.
私一緒に出ますので。
はい、ありがとうございます。どうも。先生お送りしてくれる。
ありがとうございます。恐縮です。いわゆる客観的な MMSE とそれからそれ以外の行動評価ですね。もっと全体的なこの2つのどちらかが全員良くなっております。これからいわゆる物忘れの人たちを元に戻すことは論理的、現実的、可能だということを、今日確信を持ちました。
今回最も著しい変化を見せた清さん。意味性認知症という近年明らかになった病を患っている。その症状とは。
犬も歩けば、その後は。
いや、犬は取り扱ったことないです。
ないから分かんないね。
言葉の意味が分からなくなり、その言葉自体もどんどん消え去っていくという。
使ってみて少しでも良くなれば、次の研究のね、足がかりにでもなればね。
実は清さん、こんな症状も出始めた。
今何つって
マサイ。
マサイってどんな人だった
の？マサイって忘れちゃった？この人。
兄弟？
兄弟。清さんの奥さんでしょ？
時に奥さんのことさえ忘れてしまう。今回清さんには認知症の度合いを見る一般的なテストを受けてもらい、その点数を比較してみる。
いただいて構いませんのでよろしくお願いします。
まずは一月前の様子から。
100から7を引くといくつですか？100から7を引くといくつですか？はい。そこからまた7を引くと
93から84。はい、
こうです。
この日の点数は30点満点で18点。それがプラズマ老眼を摂取して1月後。
100から7を引くといくつですか
？7を引くと93。はい、
正解が増え、反応も早くなった。
85。
そしてテストの結果は？
何点だったんだよ。23点です。いや、こんなに良くなるとは。
何点ですか
？23ですね。
23？
すごいですね。すごい良くなった。
接種前より5点アップ。認知症中期から軽度レベルになった。
これだけ差が出るってことはやっぱり意味がありますね。1点とか2点だったら分かんないですよね。
その後清さんは
妄想の人の名前が随分出てたんですけど、それが本当に出てこなくなる。
Earlier on, you heard about the importance of dietary supplements for keeping your brain healthy. Now, let Dr. Crystal Goh Wei Pin tell you more about Plasmalogen. Dr. Goh is the Scientific Officer of Livestream Group Private Limited. She holds a PhD in Biohealth Technology. So let's hear from Dr. Goh.
Good afternoon. Today I would like to give a very brief introduction about the plasmalogen restoration therapy, which is a scientific breakthrough for Alzheimer's and dementia. And as you have seen in the video just now, the whole research was actually chaired by the Emeritus Professor Takahiko Fujino from School of Medicine in Japan. And before I go deeper into this therapy, I would like to share some actual user experience of plasmalogens. The first user is Mr. Tom Yip, who was diagnosed with dementia for several years. And as we can see from these 3 clock drawing tests, for your info, clock drawing test is a very common screening tool to screen for dementia. And from the base clock, from the clock drawing test, we can actually see that Dr. Tom Yip's brains actually can show improvement. So before the intake of plasmalogen, he cannot draw a proper clock, as we cannot see the proper numbers, cannot see the proper flows on the numbers, cannot see the proper hands of the clock. But after 1 month, we can see the clock looks normal. That means there is a proper number, and we can also see the both hands. That means his brain improved significantly just 1 month after the intake. And another user is Madame Seki, who is from Japan, who was also diagnosed with dementia. Initially, she could not talk at all, and she had no facial expressions because of the dementia. But after 1 year of intake of plasmalogen, her facial expressions was back to normal, and she looked more cheerful, and she started talking to people around her. This is very amazing and is very encouraging. And now I just want to share some scientific data or the results of the plasmalogens, some scientific studies. The first one, plasmalogen can increase the number of brain cells, which is also known scientifically as neurogenesis. Neurogenesis means to grow, to help you to regrow the brain cells, so the number of brain cells will increase. Why increasing the number of brain cells is so important? Because dementia happens because of the death of brain cells. So we try to increase the number of brain cells to replenish back the brain cells that are already dead. So this will indirectly help to improve the dementia conditions. So this experiment was conducted on mice, and in these experiments there are 2 groups of mice. One was a healthy mice, another one was the mice with dementia. As we can see, maybe we see the healthy mice first. This one is the brain. That means the researchers took out the brain from the mice and then cut it into half. And all these 4 images are actually the cross-sections of the brain. So each single dot represents 1 brain cell. That means if you see the color is darker, that means the brain cells is small. So as we can see here, this is the healthy mice without taking plasmalogen. And after taking plasmalogen, we can see the number of dots actually increases. This means that even you are healthy and you take plasmalogens, you can actually improve your brain functions. This is the reason why some users actually feedback that their mental clarities, their memory actually improve after taking plasmalogen, although they just take it for maintenance purpose. And as we can see here, the mice with dementia actually has lesser brain cells. This is what we expect because they experience the brain cell death. And after taking plasmalogen, the number of brain cells increases. And this actually gives a lot of hope to the dementia patients. And another thing is plasmalogen can suppress or inhibit the plaque formations. As what Prof. Goh told you just now, the plaque can cause the brain cell death. So we try to inhibit the plaque formations. How to inhibit? We cannot really control the plaque formations. But what we can do, we can try to take plasmalogen, and it can suppress the plaque or abnormal protein from clumping together inside our brain. So this can indirectly help to prevent the brain cell death. Okay, and in these experiments was animal testing as well. And in these experiments, the mice were divided into two groups. And both groups of mice would trigger the plaque formations by injecting a type of chemical known as LPS into the brain of the mice. And the difference between two groups is that one was not given plasmalogen, another group was given plasmalogen. As we can see here, the one without the plasmalogen but with the triggering factors, we can see the plaque there, which is the one that we do not want. But the one with the intake of plasmalogen, although the triggering factor is still there, but we cannot see any plaque. This is good. So indirectly, plasmalogen can help to suppress the plaque formations, and indirectly, that means plasmalogen can suppress the plaque formation, which indirectly will help you to prevent the development of dementia. So just now got one audience asked, how about I take scallop in place of the plasmalogen? The answer is not. They are not really equivalent. That means because plasmalogen is extracted using a patented technologies, and this plasmalogen that has been extracted can be absorbed very effectively into our body because the purity is very high. By taking scallop alone, you are not necessarily can get the same amount of plasmalogen from taking the neuroregain. So they are not equivalent. You cannot think that, oh, I just take a lot of scallop instead of the plasmalogen, because plasmalogen was extracted through a patented technology and it can be absorbed very effectively. And another one is I want to share some clinical data. Clinical data means the data from the experiments conducted on the real patients, real dementia patients. We have two clinical trials. The first one is double-blind. Double-blind was conducted on the mild dementia patients. Dementia got 3 stages: mild, moderate, and severe. So we will see the mild first. The results from these trials was published in eBiomedicine last year. And this is the results. After taking plasmalogens for 6 months, the mild dementia patients can actually see significant improvement in their memory. And the improvement is even more significant for the mild Alzheimer's disease patients aged 77 or younger. And now I want to show you all the open trial on moderate and severe dementia patients, the interim reports. Okay, for moderate dementia patients, up to 71% of the patients can see significant improvement after 3 months of intake. But for severe dementia patients, they are almost 50%. So from these two graphs, we can see that it's advisable to take the plasmalogen as early as possible once a person was diagnosed with dementia, so that you can see greater improvement and also faster improvement. And in addition to the cognitive functions or the brain functions, behavioral symptoms can also be improved by taking plasmalogen. Common behavioral symptoms among the dementia patients include hallucination and delusions. Hallucinations means the false perceptions of objects or events. For example, they might see insects crawling on their hands, and they might hear some voices and respond to those voices. What is delusions? Delusions is a false belief. For example, because they have dementias, they might have they always have the recent memory loss, so they cannot remember where they place their things. So they would accuse the family members stealing their things. This is very common. Or they think that the police are following them and they are afraid of it. And Based on the clinical data, more than 80% of the dementia patients can actually see improvement in terms of the hallucinations, and more than 50% can improve for their delusions problem. And in addition, plasmalogen can also improve facial expressions and emotions. As what we can see from the video just now, dementia patients, some of them do not have any facial expressions, are not so responsive, but after taking plasmalogen for 3 months, more than 90% they have the ability to smile, to respond to you, and they become more concerned about their environments, about their surrounding, okay, and also the people around them. These are parts of the publications, news, and publicities about plasmalogen in Japan. This plasmalogen research has been conducted in Japan for more than 10 years, and the research is now still ongoing on other diseases. And this whole research was actually chaired by 3 medical scientists, Takako, Fujino, Shiro, and Toshiko. And thank you. For more info, you can visit plasmalogen.me or you can call 6535-7333. Thank you. Is there clinical paper for moderate? Oh, this one is still in the process of publications. They sent for publication and is still in the reviewing process.